CentralBanks.com, in collaboration with Liquidity Edge, is excited to announce and demo our anonymous live streaming trade execution platform, available exclusively through CentralBanks.com. Our e-trading platform includes the following highlights and benefits. It's completely anonymous. Counterparties are aware of official institution status, but no names are given up. Click to trade with live streaming. Multiple streaming providers will be aggregated at one exchange. What you see on the screen, you can act upon, eliminating the RFQ process. Lower transaction costs. Trade in 1/8 increments with active UST. Best execution. Easy to show best execution with multiple streams. Straight through processing. Regardless of the multiple liquidity providers, you will always clear with the same entity when you transact.
What you see here in front of you is the centralbanks.com GUI platform. Here we have the on-the-run US Treasuries, 2-year, 3-year, 5-year, 7-year, 10-year, and 30-year. Each of these boxes will also show you a list of all the providers' streaming prices currently. As you scroll down the list, you'll see the names change, either showing a direct relationship from consumer to provider or an intermediated model, which will show as Liquidity Edge. Back at the top, you see the current top of book, bid, and offer. To the left, we have the current amount being shown at that top of book price, and also to the right, we have the amount being shown on the offer. If you come here to the gray box, this is how you will execute any trade. First thing you will do is enter the amount per million that you would like to buy or sell. For example, I will do 1 million, type in the 1, and then I have a few options on how to execute. If I would like to sell 1 million of the 2-year, I type in the 1, and I can either double click on the button that states hit or double click on the current bid price. So for example, I double click and I see this green box showing me that that was executed at that price. And I also have a new line in my Done Trades tab. We'll come back and visit the Done Trades in a moment, but I'll go through how to buy now. So, as I mentioned before, you could double click on the lift key, or I'll show you how it's done by double clicking on the offer. This can be done for selling as well, but in this instance, I bought at that current market price, and I also see another line in my Done Trades tab. Now, to leave a resting order rather than executing on the top of book prices, you can go to the bid or offer keys. By clicking on bid or offer, you receive a price ladder. This shows you in red prices that are through current market levels, which will by default execute at the current level. You will never execute through market levels. And anything in white would be a resting order that you leave to be executed at a later time as the prices move on the screen. So for example, I will leave a resting order and I will see it in a white box on my screen. Now, if you'll notice, when I don't have an order, there's a gray X, but in this box, I have a red X indicating that I can use it to cancel my existing order. I also have a cancel all button at the top, which would be effective if you're trying to cancel multiple orders, which I will demonstrate as well. Before we get there, what we see now is a pop-up that will allow you to change some of the, confirm some of the details of your order. Now, this is one way to do it if you want the optionality to confirm before anything is placed. Rather than double-clicking, like we did over here, this brings up a box which will help you confirm before anything goes through. And this is a user preference that you can set for yourself by going to Setup, Preferences, and here we see EST Click Trading. Open Dialog is the option that brings up that window for you to confirm. Double click is the default, and single click, if you would ever like to, is what's going to enable you to, with a single click, execute trades. We also have a couple other features you can change here, predominantly the auto clear active orders after. I have it set to 5 seconds. I'll show you what this means in just a second. That means that after I cancel an order, so I hit cancel all, my order will turn red, and after 5 seconds, it will clear off my screen. You can set that for a longer period of time, shorter period of time, whatever you prefer. Now, I'll just do a couple more trades over here to show, again, how the done trades populate. And what you see here are actually a number of different categories you can use when booking your trades. So if you right-click on any of these categories, it brings up all the options. So what we typically suggest is the customer action, buy or sell, the amount, instrument, coupon rate, maturity date, the rate, the counterparty, which will show if it's someone you're facing directly or an intermediated model, and trade date and QSIP. But you do have other options if you would like more information on any of your trades, or if you have someone working in operations who would like to see trades for the whole desk. This could also show which user was trading, and a little more detail on whether they were aggressing or if they left a resting order which was aggressed upon. Again, all customizable on a per user basis. We also have a positions tab. Now, if you'll notice, done trades had 3 different columns showing each trade I executed, but since all of them were done in the 2-year, they come up as one column showing my overall position on the 2-year. I would have multiple lines if I was executing in other issues as well. If we come to the orders tab, right now this is blank, but if I put in a resting order as I had earlier, my order not only shows on the screen here, but will populate the details of the current resting order on this tab. Now this comes in handy if, for example, you would like to use a more consolidated view of this screen so it doesn't take up as much real estate on your current computer. As you see here, I've created a consolidated tab. On this tab, I have the same functionality. Key difference being that rather than on this screen where I have hit and lift, instead I would only execute by clicking on the current market prices. When I leave a resting order, which I will show an example of now, rather than showing in the white box on the screen, like it does on the first tab, you would reference it on the orders tab down below, showing the details of any order you have, and once it's executed, that will move over to the done trades tab. Now I can cancel all again and move back to my first page. Final way you can execute is if you're looking to execute on full book size. So for example, here I have 6 million on the bid side. I could double click on that actual 6 million and execute for that amount. This is also going to be affected by your fat finger limit. So every firm has the ability to select a standard number that no trader could execute beyond for a given individual trade. So if that book size is beyond your limit, for example, 168, if my limit is only 50 million, that trade would be rejected. I would have to come in here, select the amount under my given limit, and do multiple trades till I reach that point, just as a safety measure for any user. We also have the option to add single-click buttons that are preset for amounts that you choose. This comes in handy if, say, you're only trading in lots of 5 or 10 million. You could actually do show one-click buttons, apply, and hit OK. What that does is preset to sell or purchase 10 or 20 million. You can actually right-click here and change the amount. So I want 10 and 15 for that specific, and they're customizable across each individual tenor. And then, for example, when I wanted to execute on those, it would be a single click for that amount. So it's important to remember, if you do want to use the single click buttons, they will be one click versus double click for the other trades.